As Jacob started on his way again, okay, Genesis 21, as Jacob started on his way again, angel of God came to met him. Past tense is met, but they just came in a bit, so I don't give a okay. When Jacob saw them, he exclaimed, wait a minute, I'm just turning the page. This is God's camp, so he named place Mahanaim. Jacob sent gift to Esau. Then Jacob sent messenger ahead to his brother Esau, who was living in region of Seir in the land of Edom. He told them, "Give this message to my master Esau. Humbly greeting from your servant Jacob. Until now I have been living with Uncle Laban, and now I own cattle, donkeys, flock of sheep and goats, and many servants, both men and women. I have sent these messengers to inform my lord of my coming, hoping that you will be friendly to me." After delivering the message, the messenger returned to Jacob and reported, "We met your brother Esau, and he's already on his way to meet you, with an army of 400 men." Jacob was terrified at the news. He dived into his household, along with the flocks of herd and camel, into two groups. He thought, if Esau meet one of the group and attack it, perhaps the other group can escape. Jacob prayed, "Oh God, my grandfather Abraham, and my God of my grandfather Isaac. Oh Lord, you told me return to your own land and to your relatives, and you promised me I will treat you kindly. I am not worthy of all the unfailing love and faithfulness you have shown to me. The love and faithfulness you have shown to me, your servant. When I left home and crossed the Jordan River, I owned nothing except a walking stick. Now my household filled two large camps. Oh Lord, please rescue me from the hand of my brother Esau. I am afraid that he is coming to attack me, along with my wives and children. But you promised me, I will surely treat you kindly, and I will multiply your descendants until they become as numerous as the sands along the seashore, too many to count." Jacob stayed there he was for the night. Then he selected this gift from his possessions. Then he sent possessions to present his brother Esau: 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 1,200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 female camel with their young 40 cows, 10 bull, 20 female donkey, and 10 the male donkey. He dived in this animal into a herd and assigned each a different servant. Then he told his servant, "Go ahead of me with the animal, but keep some distance between the herds." He gave this instruction to the man leading the first group: "When my brother Esau meets you, he will ask, 'Whose servants are you? What are you doing? Who owns this animal?' You must reply, 'This belongs to your servant Jacob, but they are a gift from his master Esau. Look, he is coming right behind us.'" Jacob gave the same instruction to the second and the third herdsmen and to all who followed behind the herds. "You must say the same thing to Esau when you meet him. The same thing, and be sure, look, your servant Jacob is right behind us." And Jacob thought, "I will try to appease him by sending gifts ahead of me. When I see him in person, perhaps he will be friendly to him in person. Perhaps he will be friendly to me." So the gifts were sent ahead, while Jacob himself spent that night in the camp. Jacob worshipped God. During the night, Jacob got up, and his two wives, his two servants' wives, and his 11 sons, and crossed the Red River with them. After taking them to the another side, he sent over all his possessions. This left Jacob all alone in the camp. And a man came and raced to him until the dawn began to break. When the man saw that he was not win the match, He touched Jacob's hip and wrenched out it of its socket. The man said, "Let me go, for the down is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." "What's your name?" the man replied. "Jacob." Your name will no longer be Jacob," the man told him. "From now on, you will be called Israel." "Oh, okay. Because you have fought with God and with men and have won." "Please tell me your name," Jacob said. "What do you want? Why do you want to know my name?" the man replied. Then he blessed Jacob there. Jacob named the place Peniel, which means face of God. For he said, "I have sparrowed." The sun was rising as Jacob left Peniel, and he was limping because of injury to his hip. Even today, the people of Israel don't eat the tender near of hip shocked because of what happened that night when man strained of Jacob's hip. Genesis 33. Jacob and Esau make peace. Peace? Then Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming with his 400 men. So he dived into the children among Leah, Rachel, and his 2 servant wives. He put the servants' wives and their children at the front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph last. Then Jacob went on ahead. As he approached his brother, he bowed to the ground 7 times before him. Then Esau ran to meet him and embraced him, threw his arm around his neck, and kissed him. And they both wept. Then Esau looked at the woman and children and asked, "Who are these people with you?" "These are the children God have graciously given to me. Your servant Jacob was with their children both before them." Next came Leah with her children, and they bowed before him. Finally, Joseph and Rachel came forward and bowed before him. "And what were all these flock and herds I met as I came?" Esau asked. Jacob replied, "These are a gift, my lord, to ensure your friendship." "My brother, I have plenty," Esau answered. "Keep what you have for yourself." But Jacob insisted, "No, if I have found favor with you, please accept this gift from me. And what a relief to see your friendly smile. It is like seeing the face of God. Please take this gift I have brought for you, For God has been very gracious to me. I have more than enough." Then because Jacob insisted, Esau finally accepted the gift. "Well," Esau said, "let's be going. I will lead the way." But Jacob replied, "You can see, my lord, that some of the children are very young, and the flocks and herds have their young too. If they are driven too hard, even for one day, all the animal could die. Please, my lord, go ahead of your servants. We will follow slowly, at a pace that is comfortable for the livestock and children. I will meet you at Seir." "All right," Esau said, "but at least let me assign some of my men to guide, and protect you." Jacob responded, "That's not necessary. It's enough that you've received my rumley, my lord." Then Esau turned around and started back to Seir at that same day. Jacob, on the other hand, traveled on to Succoth. There he built himself a house and made shelter for his livestock. This is the place was named Succoth, which means shelters. Later, having traveled all the way from Aram, Jacob bought the plot of land where he camped for the family of Hamor. Okay, never mind. Where he camped for the family of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of silver, and there he built an altar and named it El Elo Israel. Genesis 34. Revenge against Shechem. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Jacob and Leah, went to visit some of the young women who lived in the area. But when the local prince, Shechem, son of Hamor the Hittite, saw Dinah, he seized her and raped her. What the But then he fell in love with her and he tried to win her affection with tender words. Bro, what is rap? That's sauce, man. Yo, chill. He said to his father, Hamor, get me this young girl. I want to marry with her. Oh my god, bro. Why do they use rap? Not like kidnap. It's crazy. So Jacob heard that Shechem had defied his daughter Dinah, but since his sons were out in the field herding his livestock, he said nothing until they returned. Hamor, Shechem's father, came to discuss the matter with Jacob. Meanwhile, Jacob's son had came in front of the field. As soon as they heard what had happened, they were shocked and furious that their sister had been raped. Shechem had done a disgraceful thing against Jacob's family, something that should never be done. Hamor tried to speak with Jacob and his son. My son Shechem is truly in love with your daughter, he said. Please let him marry her. In fact, let's arrange another marriage too. You give us your daughter for our sons, and we will give you our daughters for your son. And you may live among us. The land is open to you. Settle here and trade with us, and feel free to buy property in the area. Then Shechem himself spoke to Dinah's father and the brothers. Please be kind to me and let me marry her, he begged. I will give you whatever you ask. No matter what dowry or gift you demand, I will gladly pay it. Just give me the girl as my wife. But since Shechem had defied their sister Dinah, Jacob's son responded directly. So Shechem and his father Hamor, they said to them, we couldn't possibly allow this because you're not circumcised. It would be a disgrace for our sister to marry a man like you. But here is solution. If a man like you But here is a solution. If every man among you will be circumcised, bro, chill. Oh my god. We will give you our daughter and will take your daughter for ourselves. We will live among you and become one people. But if you don't agree to be circumcised, we will take her away and be on our way. Hamor and his son Shechem agreed to this proposal. Shechem wasted no time in acting on his request, for he had wanted Jacob's daughter desperately. Shechem was a highly respected member of his family, and he went with his father Hamor to present his proposal to the leader at the town gate. These men are our friends, they said. Let's invite them to live here among us and trade freely. Look, the land is large enough to hold them. We can take their daughter as wives and let them marry ours. But they will consider staying here and becoming one people with us. Only if all of our men are circumcised as they are. But if we do this, all their livestock and possession will eventually be ours. Come, let's agree to their terms and let them settle here among us. So all the men in the town council agreed with Hamor and Shechem, and every male in the town has circumcised. But 3 days later, when their wounds were still sore, 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, who were Daniel's full brother, they took their sword and entered the town. Without opposition, they slaughtered every male there, including Hamor and his son Shechem. They killed them with their sword. They killed them with their swords. Then they took Dinah from Shechem's house and returned to their camp. Meanwhile, the rest of Jacob's sons arrived. Finding the men slaughtered, they plundered the town because their sister had been found there. They seized all the flocks and herds and donkey, everything they could lay. Every could lay their hands on, both inside the town and outside in the field. They looted all their wealth and plundered their houses. They also took all their little children and wives and led them away as captives. Afterwards, Jacob said to Simon and Levi, "You have ruined me. You've made me stink among all the people of this land, among all Canaanites and Perizzites. We are so few that they will join forces and crush us. I will be ruined and my entire household will be wiped out. But why should we let him treat our sister like a prostitute? They reported angrily. Okay, bye-bye.